Good evening and welcome to Tahoe Silicon Mountain's Mountain Mines Monday event. My name is Ellen Rayner and I will be moderating this evening. We'd like to start off with quick introductions from everybody in the room. So we'll be passing around the microphone. If you could just say your name and keep it short, maybe 20 or 30 seconds maximum. Your job title. If you're retired, you can say what you used to do because folks around the room will want to know what you used to do so that they can talk to you about it. And if relevant, something that's helped you from Tahoe Silicon Mountain. So we're going to start over here.
Thank you. My name is Scott Bonneville. I have a company called Bonneville Composites. I'm a retired composites engineer on powder days.
My name's Ed Steinglass. I'm also retired. My background is sales and marketing for early stage startups, and I'm a member of the board of Tahoe Silicon Mountain.
My name's Josh. I'm a professional skier, and that's kind of all I do now. So.
And he's a student. Trina Gold, Big Water. I do video for online marketing.
I'm Scott Montgomery. I'm a retired engineer from Silicon Valley, and now I'm chair of the board of the Truckee Roundhouse.
Sarah Montgomery, and I work in the education unit at the International Rescue Committee that provides support for refugees around the world.
Evening, I'm Tom Moore. I'm a software engineer and probably more importantly, a sourdough baker.
I'm Mark Miller. I'm the founder CTO of Customer Engagement Technologies, a software company down in Reno.
I'm Lauren Bello-Okerman. I'm a speaker this evening, so you'll find out more about me in a couple minutes. Yeah.
My name is Johannes Ziegler. I am the CEO of Mia Plaza, online learning for children, kindergarten through 8th grade. Also one of the founders of Tahoe Silicon Mountain and involved in Truckee co-housing.
Hi, my name is Mark Blatt. I'm with Primerica. We're a financial services company, help small businesses save more money.
I'm Neil Morse. I'm an event promoter for the Adventure Van Expo.
I'm Kehan Infantes. I go to school here, and I work right here in the cafe.
My name is Mariam. I'm Kehan and Homayun's mother. I'm a ski instructor at Alpine Meadows, a drone pilot, and an artist.
I'm Homayun Infantis, and I go to school here and I work here also.
I'm Brandy Ivener, and I'm a controller and a bookkeeper on the side, and I'm new to the area and thought this was a fabulous place to meet people.
My name's Kari Brandt. I'm the Ski Patrol Director and Safety Coordinator at Diamond Peak.
I'm John Henry Beyer, retired as a project manager at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, working on research on climate change, and I guess I could consider myself a climate change mitigation activist and one of the founders of the Tahoe Truckee Democratic Club.
Hi, Tim Kelly. Moved here a couple years ago, and I still do financial management, CFO work for angel investment company or groups in the Bay Area.
Hi, I'm Dave Depew. I'm a retired engineer and marketing sales guy, and I'm on the board here at Tahoe Silicon Mountain.
I'm Jerry Blackwell. I'm the president of the Truckee Diner Railroad Society, and I'm retired. I used to work for one of the largest mutual fund organizations in the world, Capital Group, as a both portfolio manager and an investment analyst.
Hi, I'm Judy Depew. I'm a retired engineer, marketeer, and volunteer at the Truckee Railroad Society and Historical Society, and also with Tahoe Silicon Mountain.
Tom Cal. I am an amateur skier. If you want to find out what I do, come skiing with me, backcountry or resort.
Hi, I'm Dan Rose. I'm a retired physician, and then I'm consulting with a small biotech to integrate mobile devices and digital technologies in clinical trials.
Good evening. Mike Carabetta. I'm a retired CEO of about 5 different software companies.
I'm Bruce Stewart. I'm a general contractor.
Hi, Barry Treisman, local chiropractor.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Donovan. I'm teacher, artist. I have all kinds of other jobs as well.
I'm Rory O'Farrell, and that is Dan Martin at the controls, and we are Tahoe Truckee Media.
Hi, I am Rachel Arst McCullough, and I own McCullough Web Services. We do website design here in Truckee. And let's see, I also teach skiing at North Star, and I am one of the founders of this group and past board president.
Good evening. My name is Andy Mink. I'm a retired park ranger and park district manager. I work down in Washoe County for 27 and a half years, and I'm now affiliated with pugski.com, who you'll be hearing from Phil here in a little bit. And I'm one of the ski testers and one of the moderators on the website.
Hi, I'm Trisha Puglisi. My husband is one of the presenters tonight. He and I own pugski.com. I am a ski reviewer and a writer for the site, as well as a ski boot fitter that's certified with MasterFit, and pretty much knowledgeable about ski gear type things.
Hi, my name is Luke Jacobson. I am a CEO and engineer at Moment Skis, and I'll be presenting tonight.
Phil Puglisi from pugski.com. From the East Coast, so I do talk fast, so I'll really try to keep it a little bit slower tonight. But we'll be talking about some of the innovations in skiing, what's going on right now, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it tonight.
Great. So as I mentioned, Mountain Minds Monday is a program of Tahoe Silicon Mountain. It's a monthly event. I need to update that. We are now up here at the Adventure Center, the Alder Creek Adventure Center, no longer at Pizza on the Hill. And that's the second Monday of the month each month. The other monthly event that we hold is called First Friday at 4. It's an entrepreneurs roundtable, and it's held at the Lyft co-work space. We are almost finalized on next month's speaker, but you can expect to find us here at the Alder Creek Cafe, actually back in the boardroom next month. And again, second Monday of the month. So there's a few ways to keep informed. We collected your email address if you are new. If you've been here before, you should have received several emails alerting you to this event. You can also join the Facebook group, and you will find all of our past, not all, most of our past Mountain Minds Mondays available archived on our YouTube channel. And so if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get alerted if you're missing out on a Mountain Minds Monday and it's time to tune in and watch. Tahoe Silicon Mountain is very focused on making our events accessible, and so we do this in a number of different ways. One is that we do live stream the event, so you'll be able to go back and see past events that you missed out on, or share what you got to see in person tonight with others who happen to miss it. We do offer a pay what you can model because we want to make it accessible to everyone. It's free for local high school students, and we've obtained sponsors to cover the costs for those local students. And it's also free for volunteers. We are a 100% volunteer organization. We're always looking for volunteers to help us out with our Mountain Minds Monday, with our First Friday at 5, or our annual events, Startup Weekend, and the Pitch Camp and Pitch Showcase. You've met several of the members of our volunteer board. We do still have another opening on the board, so if that's something you think you might be interested in, please see me at the break. Beyond volunteering day of at the events, we do also have an opening to help out with coordinating the speakers so that we'll be able to announce them a little bit further in advance. So thank you for being generous with the pay what you can model. You saw that as you were checking in, although we do have a $5 minimum. It costs us more than that to put on the event between the food and the live stream and the marketing. Also, thank you to our dedicated volunteers who've come, and all of you for coming all the way up the hill in the fog. And we'll talk more about the sponsors when we join back for the main event. So for those of you watching on the live stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel and it'll alert you when the main event starts at 6:45. So now it's networking time. Be back in your chairs. 6:43. Maybe get a little more food and we will start the live stream with the speaker panel at 6:45. start back. Good evening and welcome back to Mountain Minds Monday, a program of Tahoe Silicon Mountain. My name is Ellen Rayner and I will be hosting the panel this evening. I'd like to thank our sponsors, our gold sponsor, Holland & Hart, who's helped us with all of our incorporation and becoming a nonprofit organization, our silver sponsor, Movo Law, and we have quite a few community sponsors. I'd like to point out Nevada County Tech Connection, who helps pay for the live streaming, Tahoe Truckee Media, who is doing the live stream this evening, and you met those guys earlier this evening, the Truckee Tahoe Airport, the Lyft Co-work Space, where we hold our other monthly event, first Friday at 4, Entrepreneurs Roundtable, the Town of Truckee, and a big thank you to Tahoe Donner and the Alder Creek Cafe at our new location here for Mountain Minds Monday. So this is a volunteer organization, and again, we couldn't do all of this without your generous sponsorship. So if you or your organization is interested in becoming a sponsor, please talk to me afterwards or send an email to sponsorship@TahoeSiliconMountain.com. I'd also like to thank our individual sponsors. So there are annual individual sponsorships available for $150, and that includes admission to all of the events as well as a ticket to the bar each month. So this evening's topic is advances in ski technology, and we have a wonderful panel here tonight. The format of the evening is each of the panelists is going to spend about 5 minutes introducing themselves and educating you a little bit so that we'll be ready for the Q&A. Then I will ask the panel questions for about 20 minutes, and then we'll turn it to the audience for questions for about 20 minutes. So our first panelist, Lauren from Coalition SNEM.
Sorry, I was waiting for them. Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Bello-Okerman. I'm the creative director for Coalition Snow. If you haven't heard of us, should have, but we're a local ski and snowboard company. We are women-owned and operated. We've been making skis and snowboards since 2014. So it's our 5th season. We are made up of a team of women from the local area. I live here in Truckee, so I'm around a lot. I do a bunch of other stuff. I work in public art arena. I'm an arts advocate, and I'm a mom, 4-year-old. Anyway, thank you, Ellen, for having us here tonight in Tahoe, Silicon Mountain. Awesome platform to talk about what we do. So, bullet point number 1, women owned and operated. I want to disabuse anyone from thinking that we are a women-specific ski company. When we started 5 years ago, we saw a need for higher performance skis in a certain range of sizes. So we started making the skis that we wanted to ski on for humans that identified with what we were, which happened to be women. But this doesn't mean men or children or aliens or whomever might not find what we want to ski on not what they want to ski on. So what we find fun and optimal, everyone can find fun and optimal. So we believe that creating a space in the ski industry, like a larger selection of skis, is what we do for women. fiercely independent. We are our own bosses. So 100% of the decisions we make are made by women, from daily operations all the way up to ski design and top sheet design. Top sheet design is what I was hired to do 5 years ago, but I'm doing a lot more. Bold AF. Jen Gurecki made this slide deck. She's the CEO. She does not apologize for almost anything. So you can ask her what bold AF means. If you don't know what AF means, it's family friendly, so you can Google AF. So I know we're here today to talk about technology. We wouldn't be here today if some large leaps if skis and snowboards hadn't evolved. I think a lot of the technology, which I'm gonna leave up to Luke and Phil to talk a lot about, has made skiing and riding way more accessible, which leaves a real place for the kind of ski and snowboard company we wanted to found. It leaves a place for us. We actually don't believe at this juncture we prioritize innovation over actually technology. So we think the ski industry actually needs to innovate for a number of reasons that I will talk about, beyond technology. So I personally recognize the huge place for technology. I actually am trained as an architect. I built laboratories and I did a lot of retail and commercial building before my foray in the ski industry. So I have a fondness for material science and innovation. But we're finding that a lot of the need in the ski industry is in other realms. Women driven. If you work in the ski industry, you might notice there's a dearth of women. So I'm really happy to see that there's like a ton of women here tonight, but like the building industry, I often find myself to be one of a handful of women. Women-driven means, like I said before, 100% of the decisions we make are made by women. So that means we're making everything from our perspective. We're not designing anything for something we don't know about. Everything we do is what we want to do. Just like, and I don't want to assume, but I assume every product Luke puts out is something that he's proud of, that he wants to see in the world. Performance focused. So I was explaining to Miriam, and this comes from building, when you design things and you need to communicate what you need built to your contractor or builder, new specifications. We believe that the closer you are to the end user with the optimal the closer you are to the end user's experience with how you communicate with your ski making is the closest way to get the best result. So we use what I would call performance steps. So all our criteria comes from the way people feel when they're riding our equipment, and we work backwards and then forwards again to come up with a layup, a design, a shape, a concept. Divergent narrative. So we also believe the way you talk about your equipment is really important. So many times we get really caught up in specs and lists and materials that you don't actually ask people what they need or what they want and use familiar terms to discuss your product. A lot of what we do is about access and inclusion. So we're pretty adamant that the most important thing for us as a women-driven company, and looking beyond that and including more humans in the sport is actually making it accessible and inclusive. And this includes language and how you sell people. So if someone comes to me, I ask them a ton of questions and I have a conversation and I don't get caught up in, what's inside this. Oftentimes they don't even care. That's stuff for us to know about, and what's important for them is that their lifestyle and their desire is being eyes on the future. This is a big one. The demographics of our world are changing rapidly, and I think the ski and snowboard industry, snow sports industries are a little behind, and addressing the need to include more humans in what we're trying to do. If the climate doesn't get our industry a lack of participation. So we're not only about including women, but humans of color, LGBTQ, anyone who has traditionally been sort of left out of the narrative. We're really focusing on including them because we do all the hard work anyway, talking about things that people might not want to talk about. So those 4 things are how we sort of make our mark, and if we're trying to innovate beyond just offering R&D, new materials, whatever, then yeah. So I've included this as kind of a basic primer to healing and ski selection, which is sort of approximately what do women want, right? What I want in a ski is likely what a lot of you guys want in a ski. It's not that different. The story isn't about difference, it's really about similarity. The big difference is, for a long time, I wasn't able to find a ski at my length with the newest features or newest leaps in technology. So you have rocker, you have crazy cambers, you have layups, you have lightweight, like all this stuff, but it was offered to a broad spectrum of longer length skis. We made exceptional skis from a 157 to a 1. So that's our we design everything on the shorter length, and then we move up instead of designing things for longer length. So the standard on the left of the slide, you can see the standard kind of questions you're asked when you're asked about ski length or shape, right? Height, weight, ability, terrain. Those are kind of like your basics. I can't speak for every place, but generally that's kind of like where people go. Do you like what do you like to ski? Like groomer? Okay, this is a great groomer ski. This will get you into like the ballpark fun area. It might be an okay ski, but I'm not about that. I'm about like the best possible ski for what you like. I think there are kind of 2 kinds of skiers: the skiers that like to go straight and the skiers that like to turn a lot. So that, to me, you start getting into more data. More data is more accurate, right? A lot of you have worked in science, engineering. I always want more data. So what we like to do at Coalition is get into, and what I talked about before, mystification. Talk about specs in an easy way. You don't even actually really need to talk about a bunch of it. Sometimes people don't even need to know exactly what you're offering with the ski for them to just take it from what you tell them and really enjoy it. So demystify the tech. Also, it makes people uncomfortable when they don't know what they're talking about. So talk about it in terms that everyone understands. Ask, like I said before, ask a ton of questions. Like, what's your favorite run? Do you like hot lapping groomers? Do you like the carb? Does it feel good to you? Is that your favorite thing about skiing? What's your favorite thing? And you just get into it, and it's fun. You have conversation. Then you really listen. Sometimes people say things they don't mean, just to sound cool, and you can tell if they're unsure, a lot of times they do say things that you need to know, so you have to listen pretty carefully. And the last one, fire, is the most important. This is something that happened to me when I really nerded out in ski shapes for a long time. I was always encouraged to size down. I'm not very tall, and no one ever encouraged me to go like above a 163. This is when skis had less rocker, more traditional, but it didn't matter. No one ever encouraged me to go farther. The minute I got on a ski with more rocker and I was like, I can do this, or I'm gonna go on a demo day and demo 175 with rocker and the tip and tail. You'll find out from these humans what rocker does for you, but it actually can shorten the ski for you while giving you more float. I was in next level. I was like, this is where I've wanted to be for years. Why did I never do this? Well, because no one encouraged me to do this. So when you demystify, ask, and listen, you can really encourage women to ski a longer ski. If a woman, even if she's, like 65, 70, skiing her whole life, oftentimes no one's ever told her to ski a longer ski. Why are you coming to me to talk about skis? You can buy skis anywhere. You've done this for a long time. They come because they want to change and they want something new. So 9 times out of 10, having them demo a longer ski gets them a totally new experience. And that's what it's all about, having people have more fun on the equipment that you can provide for them. So that's the next level fun. Luke, I stole your lightning bolts. Sorry about that. That was from PowerPoint. I didn't have much to choose from. And so I didn't mention this, but Coalition Snow is not only a direct consumer company, which is how we started and how we've maintained our success and our growth, but now we have a retail showroom location for the winter. It's where Bike Truckee was this fall and summer. It's over by Blue Coyote, by Soren, if you guys nerd out with Soren, the wizard. And yeah, we also have a magazine. I didn't really talk about that, but that's one of our ways of including humans. It's called Sisu. If you'd like to read it from stem to stern, I'll give you a copy. And you can always find us online at coalitionsnow.com and Instagram, Coalition Snow. Yeah.
That's okay. Can I get going? Can I get going while you're doing that? Can I get going? Yeah. Okay. Like I said earlier, my name is Luke Jacobson. I'm the CEO and engineer at Moment Skis. We are the largest ski manufacturer in the United States. Our factory is just down the hill in Reno. And I was going to talk to you guys tonight about camber types and why they matter. There's a lot of innovation in tech and skiing, but I think this is a pretty simple one to go over because there's a lot of misconceptions. These days, it's a lot harder to talk about, this ski versus that ski. There's a lot of stuff going on. Is everyone familiar with traditional camber here? Old straight skis, big camber underfoot, kind of looks like a big bridge or the back of a flatbed truck. That provides stability and support and is the basis for a lot of skis out there today. There's also traditional rocker variations, Shane McConkey comes out full rocker, powder snow, axe, and down. Full rockered skis, powder snow, axe, more like water than hardpack. And then, there's front rocker variations, tail rocker, And what we've done in-house development is triple camber, which is on our best-selling ski on the left there. So to go over front rocker, a lot of people think rocker is just for soft snow, and that's just not true. This ski here on the screen, you can see it has camber underfoot and rocker at the tip. Bending the tip of the ski up is going to be doing a lot more than just helping with float. And if you think about just making a ski turn, what you're doing on a cambered ski is flexing that ski all the way through. And if you rocker the tip of a ski, it's starting the first half of the turn process for you. So it works really well on narrower skis, and you see that a lot more these days. And then the caveat with all this is I'm just going to be talking about camber, but where you're going to put your boot relative to the side cut in your ski and where the widest point of the ski is really going to help define how that ski acts as well. Camber underfoot, rocker at the tip and tail. That is one of the most popular camber types out right now on free ride skis, and that is what is on the Wildcat right here. There's our camber, there's our rocker at the tip and tail. So you'll see different rocker lines. This is an amazing ski for Sunday, where there's a lot of pow in the morning if anyone was out there, and then you know everybody's powder crazy, so after about an hour, it gets all skied out, and you know, when it was great in the morning, this rocker at the tip and tail was going to give you the float, and then a lot of people think that tail rocker is just for going backwards, and that's just not true. When you're skiing powder and you have a rocker tail, it just makes for a nice, smeary, smooth surf turn. Additionally, it helps for a really smooth exit of your turn and helps allow the ski to pivot in tight spots in the trees when you're still trying to find those stashes. This is a great platform. It works really well for soft snow, but there definitely is some drawbacks to this. You're skiing on a really short ski here. Even though this is a 184, the effective edge is like of a child ski. So when you want to open it up and you want to rail on the hard pack, you have some issues. So that's where we came up with, is that the right side? Perfect. Triple camber. And that is what is on our best-selling ski right here, the Death Wish. It's not as scary as it's named. There's a long story about that, about my business partner almost breaking his neck on this ski while we were prototyping it, but I promise you that all those kinks are worked out now. Like I was saying, it makes for a shorter effective edge on what's actually working for you on the ski. So you can see this ski here, it has an overall minimal camber. It still has rocker at the tip and tail, so it allows the ski to be playful and really fun in the trees. But what we wanted to do is still make this ski really well on the hard pack. So if you step on the camber here, you can still see there's a micro camber pocket down here, and that is fore and aft of your bindings. So that's going to do two things for you. One, when the ski is flat and you're skiing down and you go through a transition, the micro camber pocket back here provides some additional stiffness and gives some more life and pop into a tail rockered ski that usually loses that. And then when you take this ski and you roll it on edge, the ski's now working in a new plane, and now you have a serrated knife. So you're making this ski that's a lot shorter due to the rocker dig in and carve a lot. You know, you might lose a half a second on the race course against Michaela Schifrin, but you're not as strong as her anyways. So, yeah, but it honestly provides more confidence and stability in your turn. So when you're on the ski, you're actually going to be skiing a lot faster than your friends, just because of what that does for you. And so this is something we developed about 8-9 years ago. And it's been just amazing ever since. We've developed it into a couple different variations as well. This one's pretty unique. We still call it triple camber, even though there's two cambers. But I don't have an example of this ski here tonight. But this is a big kind of powder ski example where the ski would be flat underfoot with a very exaggerated rocker at the tip and tail. And the problem with that is that if you go off a cliff and you land in the back seat, these big rockered skis tend to wheelie out on you. And so we can stiffen up the ski in the back with the camber and then also make them ski a lot better down to the chairlift. Like I was saying, there's a lot of other factors in there, but know that tail rocker is going to be much easier to pivot in the trees. It's not for going backwards. I mean, it is, but it's not the only reason. I see some old guys come up to me sometimes, they're like, I don't go backwards. I don't need that. I'm like, believe me, you definitely do. If you take your mount point, you bring it forward, it's going to make things a lot more fun. And then, another big thing, I think Phil and I were talking before this, he's going to talk a bit about this, but the widest point in the ski up here, how far this comes up. There's a lot of ski companies these days that bring this point really far back here. That ski's really short. And so there's good things and there's bad things about that. But yeah, I hope this kind of gives you guys a better understanding of camber types and what you're looking at when you're going to the store, demoing skis, and what things are for. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Phil Puglisi from Pugski.com. We are a ski news and review website. We've been online now for going into our 5th year, but my wife and I both have about 20 years of experience doing this, and pretty much since the turn of the century. And I've got to the point is I like saying turn of the century. It makes me feel old. But it's fun. Now, we've gotten a lot of great information from Lauren and Luke on this, and oh my God, back to General Hospital. Didn't realize that, as I said. One of the things that Luke touched on actually was camber, but I'm going to get to that in a second. We've got a lot to absorb here right now, so I'm actually going to lighten it up a little bit. We've got a lot of celebrities that are in this area, both that are on the U.S. ski team. We're in Hall of Famers, and one of them here is Darren Rolfs that lives here in Truckee. Who knows what Darren Rolfs' nickname was when he raced? Correct, D-Money. You win an Atomic Cup. Who is Darren Rolfs' sponsor? Another one is Wayne Wong, who lives down in Reno, Hall of Fame member. Wayne was famous for 2 specific tricks when he was competing in freestyle. Does anybody know what those tricks are? Yes, that is that. And here is for you a 50th anniversary book from K2 signed by Wayne Wong. And does anybody know what the other? We had the Wong Banger, which he said. He was, yes, ballet. So we'll just give him that, and we'll move on to what we're going to talk about. So, on that note, again, we talked a lot about camber, and actually what I'm going to stress on and bring what Luke was talking about was different types of rocker. We've got 3 different skis here with 3 different types of rocker, all different shapes that show different types of rocker in the skis. One of the things that Luke talked about was running surface and contact points. This ski has rocker. Contact point is here on the ski, but the ski side cut actually goes past the rocker. So when you're skiing neutral and upright on this ski, it skis light and easy. You start pressing that ski, getting it more on edge coming around, we get more ski contact. So it changes the personality of the ski. Another one that he talked about was bringing that contact point way back. That, again, shortens the ski, as Luke says, makes that ski really nervous. But if we get this ski in 3-dimensional snow, we're going to get some float out of it. Third one here is a little more traditional. Rocker point is only back here. We have a little bit more side cut running past here. And again, just a little bit different. The reason I just want to point those out is rocker is not rocker is not rocker. It's a term that gets blanketed in the industry across multitude of different types of skis. Giant slalom skis on the World Cup have a little bit of rocker in them. My point is, don't get hung up in the numbers, and don't get hung up in the names. And not getting hung up in the numbers, don't walk into a shop and say, I need a 168, or I need a ski that is 85 millimeters or 98 or 105 millimeters underfoot, or I need a ski that's a 14.5 meter radius. Those numbers are just starting points in your ski discovery. There's a multitude of things that go into how that ski is going to act and perform on snow. My job and my wife's job and Andy's job here as ski testers, we get on 100 some odd skis in the course of a year. We test the pluses and the minuses of the ski. Neither one of these companies make bad skis. They make skis with a purpose for a specific consumer. And keep that in mind when you walk into a shop and look at a ski. Ask questions as far as, what am I looking at in the ski? Why is this ski shaped this way? What is the designation of the ski? What is the intent of the ski? Is it a little more power? Is it a little more finesse? What do you want in that ski? So when you're looking at a ski, and you can look at these three skis here and be, extent, a ski detective and say, wait a second, this ski here, that side cut runs all the way to the end, is going to react a lot different than the ski on the end. What do I want in a ski, and how do I want that ski to perform? And that's what you need to take into consideration when you're looking at skis. So, like I said, there's no bad skis, but there's wrong skis. We do a good job with our testing teams in helping people avoid those wrong skis. Because when you walk into a shop, and Luke and I, myself, and everybody here, we've got different definitions of what an all-mount ski is. Somebody's definition might be making figure 11s straight down, head wall at squat. We jokingly say that person must really like riding the lift because they're in a rush to get down to it. And we have other people that are a little more technical in skis. They just want to make a lot of turns. And that's great too. And these two people have different definitions of what an all-mount ski is. So you need to analyze some of this as far as what you want in a ski. And I can get into all the attributes of different skis and the pluses and minuses of every ski. But again, try to avoid the wrong skis and consider who's suggesting that ski to you and for you. Is it the bro-bra kid that says, dude, my mom skis a ski, she loves it. Chances are the kid's an orphan, doesn't know who his mother is. But that's what a rep told him to say. Or that's what the last clinic was that particular brand. And he's pushing that. If he sells 10 pair, he gets a free pair. Whatever his position is, or the buyer says, hey, we're overstocked in that specific ski, you gotta move it. And there's an extra spiff on it. But consider the source on how that ski's recommended to you. The other thing that we take a look at when we're talking about skis and it gets overlooked is the interface or the coupling, the binding. Bindings are like tires on your car. Tires on a car have two purposes. One is safety, holding you to the road, and performance going around the corners. Bindings are the same thing. Bindings would hold you to the ski, okay? And you want to hold you in, they want you to release, okay? They also get overlooked a lot. Bindings in the area I don't like to shortcut on when talking to a consumer. So a better binding, you're not necessarily buying a bigger spring, but you're buying a better built binding. An example that I'll use, and this is not a knock against this specific manufacturer, go into a shop, take a look at a Tyrolia Attack 11 and the Tyrolia Attack 13. Two bindings, they're within $30 of each other. Visually, they look roughly the same. Take the two bindings out, cock the heel on the 11, cock the heel on the 13. You're going to hear a significant difference in the two actions on those heels. And you're going to see which one's going to feel better on snow, which one's going to have more elasticity, hold you when you need to get held in, and releases when you're going to need to get released. The other thing that needs to get addressed, and Luke touched on this a little bit when he talked about mount point on the ski, but when you're taking a look at a binding and specifically boots, delta delta and ramp on a boot. Okay, two words. Delta is outside the boot, and that's the angle of the relationship of the heel to the toe. Ramp is inside the boot as far as your body position. And you want to be skeletally stacked on a ski. So when you're standing there, that looking at you from the side, you want the center of the knee over the ball of foot. You want the shoulder over that. You want the hip over the ankle bone, and that again, if we're a spring, we're going to come up and down like this. If a binding has too much delta in it, what that means too much forward lean. That means your heel's up higher. You've got to compensate with your weight back, and that puts all that stress right here on your thighs, and you get thigh burn. If anybody's suffered from thigh burn a lot when they're skiing, take a look at your binding and boot position on the ski. You're very well not stacked, and if we can get you properly stacked on that ski and positioned properly, and I know this is supposed to be on ski, but this does relate to that. So, to get yourself set up properly, and again, while we're talking about skis, and that's important, the ski is the sexy and fun thing to buy, the boot's still the important thing. You're going to get more with a better, proper fit boot and set up properly in that boot, and the lesser ski than the other way around. So get up, set up properly in the boot. The other area that we take a look at is when we're testing skis, and we test a multitude of skis, and you'll hear demo, demo, demo. You've got to demo skis. Yes and no. There's pluses and minuses. As I said, there's very few bad skis, and if you look at 3 or 4 skis, chances are all of them are going to do 7 or 8 out of things really well for you. And unless you're going to demo the same skis that you're considering in the same conditions on the same day with the same tune, you really don't have a fair comparison when you're testing in demo skis. When you demo, you're demoing the conditions that you're skiing on, you're demoing the tune of the ski, thirdly, the ski. And unless all of those are tested in the same environment, you're really shooting darts in a dark room. So it's really difficult to know what you're demoing unless it's on the same day. So let me just check if there's other points I want to go over as she takes the PowerPoint away from me. So, no, that's pretty much it. You'll have your Q&A. You can ask us more. So, thank you.
Following up on the demoing, talk to us a little bit about how important it is to demo a ski that you're considering purchasing, where you can do that, and any concerns about things you ought to take into consideration when you're demoing.
I'm sort of with Phil. Even though I actually do encourage people to demo, it's more about being it's more a mental exercise into saying, I've tried the ski. Skis are a big investment. They're expensive. The whole package of boots, bindings, helmet, goggles, pole, the whole thing is an expensive endeavor. So I would never discourage someone from demoing, although we do sell a number of skis like people they're like, that's it, you told me it's good, I'm going with it. But you do have to consider that demo bindings are heavy. They're not the binding that you're going to be purchasing and using. They are not mounted for you. They are mounted at the factory line generally, and everyone has a specific place where they want to mount their skis. That's actually super important to consider. So yeah, it's a thing to do, and you should do it, but you should not, if you have a bad day because you're demoing a battered ski on a white ribbon of death on an icy day, like, you really have to take everything into consideration. So you should take your time. If you want to demo a powder ski on a powder day, make sure you figure that out and you're on it and you know where to do that. Places to demo skis, you can come to the Coalition store. right in beautiful downtown Truckee, off Main Street. We are offering demos. Please come by. I am your friendly demo human. I love to set people up. But there are, I don't know if we should offer a demo, but they can all look at that.
Demoing's totally important. Like Lauren was saying, some people just go straight out and buy them. Most people do. You know, we're a little bit different than a ski shop, what Phil was talking about. There are definitely those kids at ski shops that don't know what they're talking about, and they do have sales incentives and try to push you on something they have overstock of. Speaking from someone that runs a brand, we definitely want to get you on the best ski possible. Word of mouth is the best marketing we can have, so we want you to be happy on the skis. So we're just not going to try to put you on something from the moment side of things. Down in Reno, we do have free demos. You should try them out. But demo bindings are heavy. They are adjustable. You're typically going to be a little bit higher on the ski than you want to be. And so what I like to say, if you get out there and demo on something and it looks like it actually has a decent tune and you really like the ski, you can go get the right binding like Phil was talking about, and then you'll love them. Demo skis are just going to be heavy overall, just with the adjustability of the bindings. Definitely do it. There's good opportunities in different places where if you do go somewhere where they charge you, usually they'll take that cost off the price of a ski if you buy one from them.
I'll agree with most everything they said, disagree with some of the stuff. One, you've got a great opportunity. If you're considering both of these brands, that you've got them right here. That's a unique opportunity. Most people don't have that luxury. And you walk into Moment, you can get whatever you want, take them up to Mount Rose, wherever you want to go ski them, come back. I mean, that's a fantastic opportunity. You do have to watch this. A lot of resorts, their demo centers are glorified rental shops. The skis are just glorified rental skis. They're not demo skis as they should be, which should be sample product to show that product in its best light. It's not going to be that way. I will say demo bindings have gotten significantly better in the past 2 to 3 years, and they are skiing much more like their retail counterparts, even though, like we're talking about, they are a little bit higher. So that's one of the things that you do have to watch. And again, where I also mentioned earlier, as far as Delta, I mean, you've got bindings that are different in the toe, different in the heel, and it also varies from manufacturer to manufacturer. Marker runs a negative Delta in their binding, which means the toe is higher than the heel. If you demo a ski with the Marker binding, then you buy it and put on a Tyroler or Solomon, the ski is going to ski dramatically different. If you demo with the Marker, put a Marker, and you like it, you put a Marker on it. The same thing with the other brands.
Describe your ideal ski. What are you looking for when you're demoing when you're testing skis to review them? What are you looking for?
I'm testing the ski for the conditions it's designed for. I've got a rule, what I refer to is the steadfast rule. Okay, who remembers the Nordica Steadfast? Nobody does. It was that nothing of a ski. That was the problem. And when I go out, and whenever I was on when I tested the Steadfast, and I was never out saying, boy, if I was on a Steadfast today would be the perfect day. Never felt that about that ski. I'm looking for that aha moment in the ski. I'm looking for where that ski is going to excel. And when that person asks me, I'm looking for a ski that's going to do this, this, and this, I can say this ski right here. I'm looking for that ski's highest points and also its weak points too, so I can help them avoid it. On our test, all of our reviews are who's the ski for, who's it not for, because knowing who a product isn't for is just as important as knowing who it is for. We don't rate and rank skis 1 through 10. To me, nothing does more of a disservice to a ski than ranking it 1 through 10, because chances are that ski that might be 6, 7, 8, like I said earlier, had a specific design principle for that ski. They had a market for that ski. And that person who walks in the shop and walks out with that #1 ski, that wasn't the ski for them, but that other ski was. If you look at the magazine test, whether it was a Mike Rogan, next PSIA demo team, or level 14 instructor, or ex-World Cup race that's doing their testing, I mean, those guys can get on 2 2x4s and make them sing down the hill.
question before I turn it over to the audience. Is a one ski quiver really possible? What would go into a one ski quiver, two ski, three ski?
Depends what you're looking to do. You can get close. Ski, like we've talked about, skis are super expensive. And it depends what type of skiing you're doing. The Death Wish that I was talking about, it's 112 underfoot. I think that's the closest thing to a one ski quiver out there. It has stability. It's good in the powder. It's good on the hard pack. But that's a good one ski quiver for Tahoe. That's a horrible one ski quiver for the East Coast. And it really depends on your riding style. You know, there's not a one ski quiver, but there definitely are a lot of great skis out there where you can get close if you only want to buy one pair of skis. But no, there's not, and that's why we make so many different models.
There's a lot of skis that perform equally poor in a multitude of conditions.
Yeah.
So the perfect ski quiver is a one ski quiver. Okay, 2, maybe 3. I've seen 4 work well. 5 is good. 6 is a nice even number. 7 is a prime number. 8 is you make figure 8s, pattern 8s down the hill. 9 is, again, if you're a Beatles fan, number 9. 10 brings you into double digits. Good. Make figure 11, so you got 11. 12. I mean, you might as well just go to 13 for Baker's dozen quiver. So.
Hey, Luke, I enjoy it, CEO and engineer. How do you control your engineers, and how do you look in the suit, and how do you keep those two personalities in check?
Yeah, well, my parents helped me pay for that title, so I feel obligated to keep it on the screen. No, I mean, running a business and doing everything, I definitely do less engineering in the traditional sense. I do a lot of accounting these days. I only have one other engineer who's my right-hand man, Max Smith. He does more of the cab these days. I do more of the materials. But it's really what we do more is production engineering. A lot more is optimizing the factory. The output that we have is pretty astonishing for how many employees that we have versus what other ski factories are doing, and the efficiency and the quality and how we make that happen. But school was okay, separating those roles, you know. There's nothing like real life experience, and it's just going through and, you know, hitting every obstacle and just finding a solution to it. So I don't really keep them separate. It's just who I am. I don't know if that answers. It's kind of vague, yeah.
2 questions. First one is, what's happening with turn radiuses? They seem to be getting better on wider skis. And the second question is, were you able to patent the triple camber?
What do you mean by side cut getting better on wider skis?
Well, it seems like the last set of skis I got, the turn radius was greater than when I, bought skis 2 years earlier.
Yeah. So did you like it that they're smaller now?
Well, I thought it was getting bigger. So
some are bigger, some are smaller. It depends what manufacturer
I liked
you're looking
them bigger because it seemed like I could get a wider ski but turn faster.
Realistically, on a fat powder ski, just stop looking at turn radius. It is not a factor at all. It's more about where the widest point of the ski ends up in the rocker line is really what's going to help define that. How far that ski is pre-bent for you with that rocker. Looking at turn radius is a really bad way to look at a powder ski. Got another question, I guess?
What was the patent? Did you patent?
No, we did not patent it. There's been people that have tried to patent things in the ski world that have been sued. Like Rosingall has like a patent on ski edge, and Armada tried to patent a couple things and went around suing everybody. And Rosingall threw up their classic traditional patents right back at them and almost ran them into the ground. Being an indie ski manufacturer and having other great ski manufacturers out there, there's a lot of great product. If someone blatantly copies me, that's just kind of lame. But if someone takes that idea and makes it better, that's better for skiing, and that's exciting, because then I have to go one-up them, and that just makes skiing more enjoyable for everybody out on the hill. So yeah, go take the idea, make it better, and then I'm gonna, continue to hit the drawing board and try to do the same. I'm not worried about lawyers and patents and law. I'm here to make skiing better and enjoy skiing with my friends.
Can you describe again how, like I had a pair of Soul 7s, Rossignol,
yeah,
which were fun to ski on, but boy, when you get on pack stuff and you're trying to carve and you get a little speed, it's like, pretty nervous.
Well, that's a super easy ski to ski. That's why everyone loves it. And so the widest point of that ski is way far back from the tip, right?
Yeah.
You're skiing on like a 5-year-old ski there. You can be lazy on that ski. You can be lazy on that ski and it just kind of goes for you. It's got a big tip, it will go. But the thing is anything past the widest point of that ski is doing absolutely nothing for you on the hard pack, because that's where the turn starts, right? And also that tip is pretty soft and floppy, which makes it really fun and easy in the powder. But as soon as you get high speed and chop, it's just gonna start to buckle on you. So there's definitely a balance between all this. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like that's a great ski in certain conditions, but it's horrible in others. And so it just really depends on your riding style.
It had a really short wheelbase of a ski, and again, you put that ski base to base, you see the contact point, and as Luke said earlier, it was like a kid's ski, that short contact point. It was just really nervous on the groomers. It was fine in 3-dimensional snow when it was in the snow, but on the snow, not so much fun.
Eliminates the triple camber. I mean, you'll still be able to ski the powder well, but you get on kind of like steeper hard pack stuff, you'll still be able to turn it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I look at like their flagship ski, the Death Wish there with the triple camber. I look at that as an all mountain ski that does really great in the powder. But for a powder ski, something that's more comparable with the Soul 7 will be the Wildcat, which was next to it. Triple camber, those micro cambers, they're really not necessary in powder. And then usually the snow is still pretty soft on a powder day, right? But it's the length of that camber that's going to give you the stability, like on a ski like the Wildcat that we looked at. And then also, if you notice on that ski, the side cut goes well up into the rocker. So you're getting as much ski as you buy. Essentially, they're not tapering it down. But heavily tapered skis can be incredibly fun in the right conditions. But especially for Tahoe on a powder day, I think that ski has quite a bit too much taper for anything after 11 a.m. No, the Soul 7. The Soul 7. I'm just not a big fan of taper, so we don't really make any skis like that. But they are definitely fun in the right conditions, for sure.
All right, so next question, for all of you, really, what problem are you trying to solve right now with skis that we'll see in a future model?
Well, she's thinking, I'll check. You want to go? Yeah?
I just want to get somebody on the right ski and help them avoid the wrong ski. And I think you're going to have the most fun doing that, and just be on the right ski and have fun. So, and again, as I said, you mentioned as far as the side cut's better. Well, to define better, your better is different than somebody else's, but don't get hung up in the numbers. Don't look at that 14.8 or the 17.4 meter radius. Look at that ski. Look at that side cut. Just you can visualize how that ski is going to react on snow. Look at the rise in that ski, and you can come over and fondle any of these skis here, and any one of us would be glad to tell you the pluses and minuses of all of these designs. There's not one design that's best. There's no one best ski. Because everybody in this room, if everybody wrote down their best ski, there's probably 40 people in the room, and we're going to get 64 answers. So they're all good skis. Let's find the best one for you.
Yeah, so the question was a problem that we're trying to solve now. On a technology side, I think one of the biggest issues that we're looking at is there's been this big push the last couple of years to make lighter and lighter product. Backcountry skiing is the fastest growing sector in skiing, but it's still a very small sector. But all the ski companies are putting all their marketing dollars behind it. And then everybody thinks that they want a lighter ski. And then I have some older people come up and they're like, oh, well, they'll be looking at our touring collection, which is lighter. And I'll be like, well, do you go in the backcountry? Do you tour? And they're like, no, but you know, my knees are weak and I think this will be easier to ski. And that's like the absolute wrong ski to get on too, because the main way we make skis lighter is to take out fiberglass and put in carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is very light, but you put energy into it and it's going to give you a lot of that energy back. And so that's going to vibrate through your light touring boots. It's going to rattle the fillings right out of your skull. And so it's definitely not, but there's a balance. You also don't want to be on a big free ride setup with Pivot 18 metal bindings. And so there's compromise there. But really, right now, the consumer's looking at lighter and lighter. And it's just a balance on your materials to make that light ski as well as the heavier counterpart. But there's just this thing called physics that gets in the way. So we try to fake it a little bit with different polymers and different woods and things like that.
On his point, too, just want to add something. A misnomer, metal does not make a ski stiff. No. Metal just dampens the ski, keeps it quiet. It doesn't make it stiff. The stiffest, burliest ski that we were familiar with was the K2 VO Slalom. It wasn't even a wood core ski. It was a foam core wet wrap ski, but it was as stiff as a 2x4. No metal, no wood in it. Metal doesn't make a ski stiff. It just makes it quiet on the snow.
I was gonna.
Okay, go ahead.
Just quickly, I'm gonna reiterate the problem that we at Coalition are continually trying to solve is accessibility and inclusivity. Those words, I know they sound like buzzwords, but really we're trying to get more people out on better skis. So, like Luke said, we're not out to, we do have a backcountry ski. It does have taper. That is our one model, and there's a couple reasons for that. But other than that, I'm a huge fan of I ski here in the Sierra. I ski in Maritime Snowpack. I think everyone should try to ski well, and like Phil says, there's a ski for everyone out there, but we are trying to encourage more people who never thought they could to be on a more burly ski, not setup, but ski. So more exceptional and a better quality ski.
So Laura, my question for you resonates with your tech talk tonight, because part of the reason I got into the industry and started to do what I did, 19 years ago, is because I got sick of walking into a shop and having a bubblegum chewing college kid say to me, dude, this is what my mom really likes. I got tired of that. And so I decided that I needed to go out and demo skis, and I needed to do some stuff, and I went online and did some research, and I found this online community, and I asked some questions. I walked into a shop and I decided I was going to buy this big, burly, badass ski because I was just going to show them. And the guy in the shop said to me, he was the manager of the shop, he said, that is way too much ski for you. And you know what? He was right. Because I took the pendulum from here and I swung it way over here to prove a point. But all I did was prove his point. So I came back in that pendulum and I started to ski stuff that was right for me, and I became a boot fitter, and I became to analyze skis. I started to pay attention to the tenacity of what the ski did. And oh, this one enters the turn a little better. This one comes around in a mogul a little better. And I kind of got that. And so I think you and I are kind of in a similar path, but we did it very differently. And to that point, my question to you is, where do you see you going with your technology going forward in Coalition Snow?
Well, we've been around for 5 years, which in the ski industry is not very long. So we also don't, put out tens of thousands of skis a year. We're in the hundreds. So what's available to us is what's available to a 5-year-old ski company that puts out X amount of skis a year. That being said, we have 8 ski designs. We're selling 6 of them currently. We have 4 snowboards, one of which is a split board made by Lizen over here. So we actually have a pretty deep, like we have kind of one of everything. My job, and no one told me this is my job is creative director, but that really doesn't encapsulate the job I think I have in my head. My job is to actually fill those holes, right? So slowly, year after year, like you said, we put out our first ski, the SOS, is what we call an all-mountain ski. It's not an all-mountain ski for everybody, but it is for me. I skied it like kind of almost every ski day for however long we've had it. We also put out a ski called the Abyss, which is a bigger version of the SOS. That ski needed so much speed, and it's a big ski. It's a stiff ski. A lot of women were pumped about it because it was an option they'd never really had in a shorter length. But for me, I knew we had to swing back. So then we put out our Rebel, which is skinny, like 88 underfoot. And then we swung back and we had the Rafiki, which is new this year, which is like I kind of spearheaded the design of that ski. Rafiki means friend in Swahili because it's a super friendly ski. But it also still has that attitude. It's fun to turn and surfy, but it still retains the attitude of its big sister, the Abyss, its other sister, the SOS, but it's in the middle. Moving forward, my goal is to use all the elements of technology that we've kind of talked about that are available to us. And I'll say a lot of that is shape, camber, which, camber, length, all these things, the geometry of the ski, the layup, all these things to kind of move into the next iteration of what we need to be filling in. So what I said before about performance specs, and I really mean this, what is the feedback we're getting? What do I personally feel like we need that we're missing, that I hear people want to ski on that we don't offer? What would I want to ski on that we don't offer? I'm kind of like the one ski quiver, whatever in my car is what I ski on. I know that's like, whatever. But it just is. So I'm like, what do I want that to be? When I leave the car, what do I want in my hand? So we're working within what's available to us. And I said this to Luke earlier. What's the point? We all got into this industry because we're curious and because we're innovative. There's no reason to start a ski company if you don't think you can do something better than what's offered. There's no reason. Why continue to run a business if you can't innovate and push forward? It's kind of like you could make a lot more money doing that in a million other ways. So to me, part of getting up and going to work in the morning is pushing on what's next and using the technology available, and maybe someday soon we can be part of that huge technological innovation and find our way in there, like Luke has found by innovating in ways of camber and other ways too. But for now, we're operating a multi-level and really trying to innovate in our purpose-driven capacity as well as pushing forward our exceptional product.
Thank you to the panel. I know I have 10 more questions on my list that I didn't get to, so I think these guys are going to hang out for a few minutes, but one more big round of applause for our panel. And we'll see you all next month for Mountain Minds Monday, second Monday of the month. The speaker begins at 6:45.
We do have giveaways, ski straps and stickers if anybody wants, and come visit us at pugski.com.